My hopes for free says finally each person will find the urge to wake up each morning, the motivation that will make them work with a fun, the motivation that will never run out. Is the motivation that everyone needs to accomplish their goals. With that motivation, people could discover impossible things that not even the smartest person could think. With that motivation, people come from the very bottom to reach the highest peak of success. With that motivation, people could finally get their dreams come true, their desired success, and even more than I can think of. You will say, why I expected such thing as cliche also motivational talk? Well, it's that I'm convinced that the motivation could drive people to arise and become what they want to be. According to the website psychologytoday.com, one of the reasons that people are depressed nowadays is because they don't have a reason to continue living. That's why we see people unemployed no wanting to get a job. That's why we see people lost after someone's death. That's why we see people committing suicide, because they don't have a reason to continue living. If people continue like that, they will be in an unhappy life in an endless tunnel. But if we see people change their path and willing to have the motivation of work daily in their dreams, they could transform the earth entirely through their innovations, because they're made by passion and heart and discipline. One example of that may be my dad. My dad has hardly worked since he was young. He has worked through many jobs for improving his life. And his objective got even more real when my sister and I were born. He understood that us, his children, were the ones who are going to suffer the same as he did in his childhood. He didn't want that to us. And you might say, your dad isn't the best example you can use. I have another one. I know someone, that person is my friend. She will work her entire adulthood just to compensate all what her mother has done to her when she was young. He saw all the struggle and fights her mother had to handle with when she was very young, so she could have a better life. With all that I mentioned before, motivation is achievable. You don't have to think that you didn't find it like 5 minutes ago, because that motivation takes time. It may even take years, because each person has a different pace for understanding and doing things. One of the ways you can gain motivation of is through a pet, a talk, a story, a song, a quote, a kid, a student, a colleague, a boss, a parent, or just yourself. Because people can be their own motive. They want to improve themselves. And people should not give up on this. Motivation is so important. That's why we see entrepreneurs or important people, because the motivation has led them up to get in those positions. People should not give up on that. And you're the ones who have already found it. They should continue working, because they still have a long path to cover. Motivation is the key to everything. And I would like to end this with a quote my PE teacher told us. The game doesn't end until the ball touches the ground. I'm Sebastian Carreño, and I'm participating in the F Challenge 2019.